go turn the light on.
Okay. Perfect. We'll go and wait for Senior Officer Barrick Johnson to come back, and we'll go from there. All right. Just for the recording, we're here currently with Abilene. If you don't mind stating your full name for the record.
Abilene Contralto.
And assisting her are her attorneys. Could you guys state your names?
As he's salted.
Cleus Cornwood, Esquire.
In terms of officers, it's going to be 125 Senior Officer Flop Dugong. Following as well is Eric. That's your part.
Senior Officer Barrick Johnson.
10-2.
And we also have Judge Murphy Braun seeing over at the moment as an outside party. The time currently, as it stands, is going to be 1:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 05:39 local time. Abilene, just for the record, so it's stated, I'm going to be re-advising you of your rights.
Wait, Floppy forgot me.
Oh, wait. Prosecuting as well. There's so many people in the room. I'm sorry. Xavier, if you don't mind stating your name for the record.
Monroe.
Xavier's going to be prosecuting for the LSPD. At this time, Abilene, again, just for the recording, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you by the state at no cost if available. Do you understand your rights as I've read them to you?
Yes.
Okay. Knowing those rights, do you still wish to speak?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Abilene, obviously we haven't really had any proper discussion yet. I'd love a little bit of context, maybe just a breakdown as to what's been going on, sort of just give me your side of the story. Obviously, the way that this is set up, it obviously is sort of set to not look in much of a favorable position. I'm sort of just looking for context as to what's going on.
Was that a question?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Do you mind giving me your side as to what happened and what you're willing to, I guess, bring up and disclose?
Okay. I was just hanging out at the courthouse, as I usually do. Wait around, see if I get any calls, you know, to go shadow someone, talk to people when they come in, that sort of thing. I even talked to Judge Braun there for a minute. About 10 minutes after I talked to Braun, he wasn't there any longer at the time. Bobby Charles and another gentleman who appeared to know Bobby Charles came in, and they started bantering back and forth with each other. They were being pretty annoying, so I wasn't really paying attention to what they were saying. I was just looking at them. But we were all standing pretty close. Okay? And then all of a sudden, two masked men run into the courthouse from the back with knives in their, well, one with a knife, one with a wrench. Held the knife to my throat, then waved the knife to Mr. Charles's throat and told us to move, run out of the back of the courthouse. And they like scurried us out back, past the elevator, straight out the back door that goes into the parking garage. When we got out there was this gray in color 4-door pickup truck waiting. But they told us to stop and put our hands up, don't move, and they told everybody to drop their phones right now, or they're gonna stab us and kill us. So, I was shaking a bit. I managed to drop my phone right there. I'm assuming Mr. Charles and the other gentleman did as well. And then they all had us get into the pickup truck. The one masked man drove and had the other masked man get into the bed. And then the truck took off. It started taking off one of the eastbound highways up north. At which point, while traveling up the highway, one of the assailants fell out of the assailant that was in the back fell out of the back of the bed onto the road, but the driver kept driving like he didn't care. the driver had a radio to somebody to get that person and bring him up north where he's at. They drove about halfway up north, I'm guessing, and they pulled to the east towards the beach. During this ride, Bobby Charles was screaming. I was trying to ask what was going on, but they told us to shut the fuck up a few times or they're going to kill us. So we mostly shut up. Bobby Charles kept talking. They pulled the truck to the beach. It's just the driver in it now because the other person had fallen out of the back, but the driver was on the radio routinely. He told Bobby Charles to step out of the truck. The driver got out with a knife in his hand. The other two, I was in the passenger seat. The other gentleman was in the back seat. We still had our hands up because he was continually telling us to keep our hands up and not to move. He stabbed Bobby Charles in the gut and told him he talks too much. Waited a little bit, maybe a minute, and put him back in the truck.
I would like to make clear for the record that is reasonable behavior. Continue.
So, radio chatter. I couldn't hear. I think he was talking softly.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I have one just side question. What positioning within the car? Like where were you positioned within the truck?
As I said, I was in the passenger seat.
The front right passenger seat.
Yeah, front passenger seat.
Just for clarifications for the officers, who was in the back seat?
Bobby Charles was behind me, and the other gentleman was behind the driver.
And the other assailant, not the driver?
The other assailant, at this situation, when he pulled Bobby Charles out and stabbed him, was still not present because he fell out of the back on the highway.
Oh, he was in the truck bed, right?
Right.
Okay.
So, Bobby Charles, despite the driver telling us to shut the fuck up, kept talking, told him he talked too much, stabbed him, waited about a minute, talked on the radio, but I couldn't really hear it because he was talking softly. Put Bobby Charles back in. I'm still in the truck, right? He gets back in the driver's seat, turns back to the road, drives further north on that highway.
Hey, I'm sorry. Just, I don't mean to interrupt your train of thought, but this is incredibly important. Do you know approximately where he fell off the back of the truck?
I don't, because I was in the passenger seat looking forward, and
Oh no.
Could you pinpoint it on a map?
It's extremely important.
I can make a guess.
Okay.
I can make a guess, yeah.
Okay.
If you can,
The only reason I was
we can
alerted
make
to it
this
is 'cause-
quick.
Okay. Yeah, I could try to pinpoint it.
Okay.
You want me to do
Yeah.
that?
Whereabouts? Yeah.
Can I look at a map?
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna. Yeah.
Right here.
Aziz got it.
Right here. I'll just
Yeah.
lay it on the desk. Take a look at it. Tell me which street, if you can.
I wish we knew this earlier so we could have looked.
Gosh, it was probably
Not to stress you out, but it's important.
Probably Los Santos Freeway, but right where it starts to join Palomino Freeway sort of area.
Okay.
that
So
area
as you're
on the
approaching the
street?
Delta,
Yeah, that general area.
could
Heading out of the
you
system,
narrow
right?
it down any further? Was it the dirt road on the left? Was there a dirt road on the right?
No, it was the ocean to the
Adium?
right. It was the ocean to the right-ish.
Right.
So I think
So a little bit earlier. You say ocean or lake?
it was the ocean to our right.
And it was
Okay, so
probably-
you were up further on Sonora Freeway.
It might have been Palomino. But
So-
actually no, Sonora looks like kind of what this was.
Okay.
Okay,
Sonora
Whereabouts
makes
in Sonora?
sense.
Whereabouts?
So let me ask you, did you pass a casino or not?
Yeah. We passed the casino.
Okay.
We're not gonna be able to
So
get the
you
blood.
remember seeing the casino. If you remember seeing the casino, then you never went to Palomino, likely, if you never turned off the freeway.
The
Okay.
guy kept going.
Okay.
And passed it and merged onto Sonora. Do you know whereabouts?
Hey,
on
real
Sonora?
quick, again, not to, look, let's save everybody's time. I think it's nap time right here. How does that sound? Everybody want to take a nap right here? Get ready for that storm about to hit. Let's take some shelter.
We found a phone in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm,
Good
okay.
shit. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going
Okay.
to bed so I can wake up right here.
Wow,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the
Right
same.
now. We go to bed now.
Good night.
All right.
All right. We'll pause recording and we'll pick it back up after 0700.
What is Declan do?
What?